Hello, Nelson County leaders. I want to send a screencast. First off, thank you for volunteering on Thursday morning to help with our projects that our community-centered course students have been putting together. I want to give you kind of an overview of what that process currently looks like, what to be expecting on that day, just to help you kind of have an understanding of what we're doing. Um, we started this year with all of our backpack leaders having a class that they led. And really, it was a community centered course. And the goal for that class was they would experience the externship. So you can see that here in phase one. That was done through the fall. So they went to various industries, saw the externship with our teacher leaders across the district, and then really started to think what type of partnership makes sense for us, because phase two was really around connecting each of our schools and each of our classes with a community partner. So Cox's Creek was with Flagey Hospital, and Boston School was with Bardstown Active Day. So we wanted to connect schools together. And then the goal was that our students in those community centered courses would be creating learning experiences for the rest of their school, so that in the 2021 school year, students at each of those schools would be engaged in community centered learning experiences. So, in order to do that, our backpack leaders asked for some models, some templates, and some project iterations so that we could know that students were on pace to be in the right spot. So, we put together something called gift projects, and that's kind of the way that we're talking about these projects that students are to be creating. And so, there's kind of four parts to that gift project. The one that you're going to be helping us with is on Thursday around this Ignite the Heart one pager. So, the Ignite the Heart one pager is really a general overview of the project. So, what we've asked each school to do, you can see that there's four parts to it, but each of those students in those classes are only focused on this part, which is Ignite the Heart one pager. And the goal of that is to give an overview of the project. So, I have an example here that I'll pull up. This was one that we put together. You can see that the Ignite the Heart one pager has three core priorities. One is an energy monitoring process. So there has to be a mechanism for schools to know or teachers to know how students are engaged in the project. How are we monitoring their work? So that's one piece. A second piece is identified learning products, meaning they have to actually produce something. They have to give a presentation. They have to make a project or product. They have to actually produce something, and it has to have a time to ship that thing. So this one was 4 to 5 weeks. And then it also has to align with Project Backpack. So the Project Backpack Gifts and Skills is an important piece of the conversation. On the right-hand side, each project needed a driving question, something that allowed the project to really come to life. So this one was with NPR and really thinking, how do they increase employee retention? They needed to embed this into their school story. So um, if I'll use Cox's Creek again. Cox's Creek's talking about empowered leaders, empowered learners. How does this product or this project contribute to that storyline? And then we wanted them to begin thinking about what type of experience kind of kicks off this project. So what would students be engaged in that would really get them excited and energized about this project? So that's the Ignite the Heart one pager. So once again, for you all, that's the only thing that they're presenting on March the 5th. So the way that'll work is you have a designated time. I've attached that with our process, and I have shared with you um, the slide that you'll be able to see what time you're supposed to be there. And students will come in. They'll have about 20 minutes to present their Ignite the Heart one pagers for the projects that their school is building this semester. So some schools may have one project, some schools may have 3 or 4 projects. It kind of just depends on where they are. So thank you guys so much for engaging in this with us. I appreciate the feedback that you all have. Excited for March the 5th. You should be able to have all the other information you need on the calendar invite. Thanks, guys.